so now we want to talk about supplies, and supplies like tools, you can get lost in some bad supplies out there. I won't mention any names, but some of your retailers are selling, they're not really upholstery supplies honestly, especially in the batting area. There's certain battings, but I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to show you what basic supplies to get you started. However, if you're just starting out, just like the tools, you know, some of the you know, art stores and the like will get you started at least, but you have to know that there's advanced supplies as well as advanced tools. So let's talk a little bit about these supplies now. And you know, starting right off the bat with these French nails, these French natural nails. These are finished nails, and folks, do not buy any finished nails that you see advertised anywhere in a store. I mean, they don't, the heads on them pop out very easily. You'll end up just wasting your money. Those I'm strong about, you know, they're just not worth the time. If you have the choice, you have to buy those or finish a piece without the French nails, and you don't have the right French nail, don't even do it. You know, don't do it without the nails, the French nails, or any decorative tack that you see on for sale in a retail store. They're not upholstery tacks. So these are upholstery tacks. They do come in different varieties, but on the kit, if you ordered the kit, they would these would be the tack that you would get, because they're a universal color, universal tack. So that's the best tack, decorative tack. Okay, and I'm going to go right to my upholstery tacks. Another problem, if you go out to a hardware store, there's no hardware store that I know of, or any other supplier that I know of, other than an upholstery supplier, that is selling the proper upholstery tack. And the big difference is, again, the heads will pop off. This is a size 14-ounce tack. These are specialized upholstery tacks for springs, to put in spring twine, tie the twine around, and they have little prongs in them. I'm not sure if you can see them, but take my word for it, there are little prongs in here. So those are used so that the twine with the tension, the tack doesn't pop out. And what you find, if you do find a 14-ounce upholstery tack out there, usually what you're going to find too is that the shafts are really big and they don't go in the wood as well, and they fracture the wood a little bit more, so they're just not the right tack. So that's the 14. The 6-ounce tack, same thing on the 6-ounce tack. You're going to find a 6-ounce tack out there maybe that it says 6-ounce tack on it, but they're not upholstery tacks. They're not as pointed, and the shaft is big on them, and the heads break. So these are our 6-ounce tacks. And then we have jute spring twine. Smells good. That is used for tying springs. There are substitutes for this. Don't let anybody talk you into a nylon tie, a nylon twine for tying springs. We do use a nylon twine, I'll show you that in a minute, in certain applications. But as far as springs go, you don't want to use nylon slips. Nylon will slip, the ties will slip. It's like you're not even doing an 8-way tie, they just slip off. And they, very soon after the customer uses it, they have springs that are lopsided. The jute twine is the best out there. It's actually called ruby twine, I-U-B-Y, ruby twine. It's really the best, a product of Italy. So we'll put this over here. And now the webbing. This is also another issue. So many strappings out there. The only strapping that I would use is from my supplier, and it's a red stripe, which indicates that it's for seats. Don't go with the black. Somebody else, one of our other subscribers contacted us about why not black, the black. What's the difference? The difference is the black, they say it's for back webbing, which doesn't get as much, you know, weight on it. But I use the seat webbing everywhere. So that just solves the problem of any type of webbing problem I'm going to have in the future. So the red webbing is the best, and again, not many people carry this. And this is a product of India. So we'll put this aside. And now coil springs. So coil springs are also specialized, and the proper coil spring, these are metal springs, are essential, and the proper size. They go from a 1 to a 5. And if you've seen my other, the U-Cover upholstery, how to upholster a footstool, if you go on that, it has this size spring, which is a number 1. And it goes up to 5. 5 is more for sofas. And most of the time, though, if you're dealing with side chairs, you're dealing with the smaller spring. So there are substitutes out there like zigzag springs or not a proper gauge on a seat spring. And there are back springs too that are a little lighter gauge, but I don't have one to show you. But this is the seat spring. Mainly that's what we use. Put that aside. Okay, and cardboard tack tape. It looks pretty simple, but great to have in an upholstery shop, because a lot of times we close out sides with this and other things. You've seen me use this for repairs on some of the other YouTube shows that we've done. So this is a 1/2 inch cardboard tacking tape, it's called. Okay, that would come with an upholstery supply kit. And then we have a few yards of what I call, what the old timers used to call finger roll, and what they call it today is edge roll. And there are at least three different sizes of this. This is the small side. They have a medium, and then they have a large. And what it is a burlap wrap paper, pretty much, and it's used for the edges of furniture. So that's that. And then we have over here rubberized horsehair. If all of us can't be using real horsehair, which is a great thing to use over springs. So this is used over springs, over burlap, and over the burlap actually, this rubberized horsehair to take the so-called curse off of the edge of the spring. And it's the first part of smoothing out the seat. And in the old days we used to hand pick horsehair, and we still have the needles for that. And I think I might have done a couple of these also, a couple of horsehair filled chairs. But this is the replacement. It's not a bad replacement. I do like some replacements on the original. Sometimes you have to use the rubberized horsehair. Okay, and then we have for batting. So batting, this is Dacron. This is a 1-inch bonded Dacron, and I also have cotton that I use, 100% cotton. I don't have anything to show you right now, but 100% cotton is also a good batting. But for a beginner, the Dacron is good because it actually takes the place of muslin and cotton together. And the way that works is that if you have a piece of foam that you want to cover, like a bench, you put the Dacron on. It has a certain amount. You can pull it without ripping it, but it can actually take the place of the muslin and the cotton you would have to use otherwise. So Dacron is one of those substitutes that I kind of like. Don't use it exclusively. I like to go back, depending on the fabric too. And to get an idea of that, you're going to have to look at some YouTube videos. Okay, so look, this is one of the last things. We have 1-inch foam over here. And polyurethane, it's a high density, it's a medium, it's pretty basic. This is a basic foam. For people just starting out, that's what I would recommend. It's okay if you're just using it in residential, at least in Massachusetts. If you're using commercial, it's a whole different ballgame. You have to research that in your home state to make sure and your local fire department to see what their specs are for using polyurethane in new furniture. So, and then the next thing I want to show you is burlap. Yes, it's the same thing as a burlap bag, same burlap. It's an Indian, coming from India. Great to go over springs, and it's squeakless. Substitute for this is nylon. Don't fall for that, or some other material. Don't fall for that, because what this does is rides over the springs nicely, and also used over webbing when you don't have springs. And it's a great material. It's a resilient material, and that's what you want to use. And last but not least, you finish your project, and the last thing you want to put on is cambric. For all you antique dealers out there, you might want to go to a cloth cambric. But here we use, it's a synthetic, but I like this because it's easy, more pliable than the cloth. Unless people really want the cloth, I'll do it. But the synthetic burlap really goes around nicely around your legs. And it's a non-porous. It's better than the cloth in that way. It just catches, it's like a dust catcher. And I think that's it for our supplies. So definitely would advise you to reach out to me in an email if you want to know where to get these supplies. There's very few places in the world that have everything together and that know what they're talking about. So the importance about the supplies, there used to be upholsterers in this business, so they know their stuff really well. And we're gonna be talking a little bit about that in our classes too that are upcoming. So we're looking forward to really a lot of activity here at Broadway Upholstery School. And so hopefully we'll see you later.